Red is a Tony Award-winning play by John Logan that focuses on the life of American painter Mark Rothko. And City Circle's theater company, their new theater company, Circle's Edge, is premiering Red this weekend and next on location at Brush and Barrel in Coralville. And joining me are the two stars, Kehry Anson and Ellis Fontana. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you are the two stars, but you're the only two in the play.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
It is, I'm sure, an intense process when there's only two of you. You really have to be trusting of each other and in it together. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your characters and the relationship they have with each other.
Okay, so I played Mark Rothko, who is an abstract expressionist painter, a real person. He's pretty irascible, you know, he's very opinionated, he talks at length, he can be very combative, but he's also this very passionate soul who believes deeply in art.
And I played his young assistant, Ken, a fictional character, whose role in the play is kind of as a foil to Rothko, this character who starts out, you know, very much looking up to him, aspiring to be a great painter like him as well, new to this world, but throughout the play starts to grapple with, you know, some of the more complex ideas of Rothko and what he thinks about them and who he is as an artist, who he wants to be, and then that conflict kind of propels the plot of the play.
And so you're a fictional character and you're a real life person. How did the writer have writings of Rothko's to draw from for this play?
I mean, he definitely borrowed some stuff that Rothko was known to have said, and you know, there's documented or interviews of Rothko out there. So he did ingest a lot of the actual man's words and thoughts and things, and to flesh out the play.
Yeah. And okay, so tell me about the location you're performing in.
Sure. So we're not performing at the CCPA stage itself. This is part of, as you said, that's the new Circle's Edge theater company. It's actually being brought back. I don't know when they were last doing it, but the intent is to focus more on smaller, intimate spaces in the community itself. So we're going to be performing at Brush and Barrel at 1801 2nd Street?
Yes.
It's the Clock Tower Plaza.
The Clock Tower Plaza. And so it's a paint and sip studio. It's going to be a very small, intimate space, about 35 seats. So the audience will be right there with us.
Yes, that's going to make it a bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
So how has it been rehearsing? You told me you haven't yet been in the space, but what is this? What's the rehearsal process been like?
I mean, well, we started out reading the play, doing some paperwork, discussing it, and then getting on our feet. But because it is such a condensed space, we basically tape out a 12 by 12 block, and everything we're doing fits in that space. And all the action, all of the, every bit of the show is right there. So I think that's going to help us be ready for when we're in a room that's so intimate and with the audience right there upon us.
Right there, yes. Yeah. So what has it been like being Rothko? You were saying he's kind of a combative person, and what I've read about him is, in this play, is he's not super likable, but you have to create a character people are rooting for. I mean, there's only two of you, so what has that been like?
I mean, it's interesting. You have to find the humanity in anybody, and he's very opinionated. He can be very domineering. He can be kind of a jerk about the way that he responds to Ken. But there is like a deep longing and a deep need underneath that you have to kind of flesh out and bring to the surface. So there is something that the audience can appreciate about the man.
He's an artist.
He is.
He's an artist.
Yes.
And artists can be polarizing. So
that's absolutely true. Do you paint at all in the show? Is there any elements of that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
We don't really we're not using liquid paint, but a lot of it is just done through miming, or not necessarily miming because we are using props, but there are, there's canvases, there's buckets of paint all around. There's a lot of, pretty much everything else in the studio is all tactile and there and physical, but the paint itself is more abstract and kind of the idea is to put more emphasis on what the characters are saying about it rather than just like, oh, there it is.
Wow, and yes, like you said, there's only a very limited amount of seats, so you should get your tickets now, and where can people do that?
Yes. So you can go to citycircle.org.
Coralville Arts.
CoralvilleArts.org, thank you. CoralvilleArts.org for tickets, or you can call at 319-248-9370.
Oh, nice. You memorized that number.
Thank you. I was going to say there should be a thing there. That call line is open Wednesday through Friday from noon to 4 p.m., and so you can get tickets on that line.
Yeah, this is a very unique play, a unique place to have it, so you're going to want to check it out this weekend and next. Well, thank you, Kehry and Ellis, for being here.
Thank you
for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.